second episode of Smokes for Beginners. Yes, under the patronage of Mako, of course, our god controller. And we're gonna teach today a little bit about how to attack with correct smokes. To understand where to put the smokes, you need to understand what you want to achieve with those smokes in the first place. So I'm gonna take Ascent B as an example because it's something that happens in the game very often. You're the Omen and the Jet coming in from B main. You want to cross two sides, so you need to cross this line over here to breach from that choke point into the side or into the boat to close market, and so on and so on, or maybe go to stairs, right? So those are the points that you are interested in. You need to first though go through the choke point, right? And you want to help yourself. So we're gonna put in a Yoru marker in every single position where an opponent can stand to deny you the exit out of the choke point. So those are the main positions that your opponent can stand in and, well, will make your life hard to go out of the choke point through here. All of those Yoru positions are the ones that you have to worry about. So now the smokes, you're gonna put them in a place that will disrupt at least some of those positions, right? So the most basic and the most common smokes on the B side are gonna be in market and in CT. Now, you ask yourself, why? The point is that not only you disrupt the position of the defenders that are in the deeper positions and more safe for themselves, right, for the defenders when you're attacking the B side, so you deny them the vision for the first contact of the B main players, but also you deny the vision for the players that are rotating through spawn or market. So when the opponents are going through those positions from A to B because they know the execute is coming towards the B side, they're not gonna see what's happening during this execute, right? So this is your first goal. And then the other positions that you're not smoking off, well, those positions right here, so here, 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 and here, those have to be affected by other pieces of utility. This is why it's important to understand teamwork and use flashes, mollies, and other pieces of utility that can make those players, well, in a bit of a pickle when it comes to standing in those positions, or at least knowing that there can be a player there and killing them, right? So you make yourself more comfortable when you're attacking the site. Now, the very important aspect of smoking in those default positioning is something that I explained in the first episode of the smoke guide. So you don't want the smoke to extend over the choke point line, right? So the defenders, for example, are gonna put the smoke like this. So the line for them is gonna be here. The line for the attackers is gonna be here. And the line for CT is gonna be here as well. Why? Why is it so important to not put the smoke in a different position like this or like this? It's incredibly important because of the confidence that it gives to the opponent. And I will show you how it works. Let's assume I'm the defender on the B side and I want to stop the players from pushing out of B main, right? So if I'm standing here and I'm getting smoked off with a proper smoke like this, I don't see the B main, but if I want to step out of the market, I'm fully exposed to every single location, right? So I'm stepping out of this doorway into complete unknown. Now, if the attacker would do a terrible smoke for themselves, like this, for example, it achieves one thing, it stops me from seeing the B main. But the problem is that if I step into the smoke, I can use the smoke to my own advantage and I can just peek out while not being fully exposed to the opponents. Or I can, for example, drop out of this smoke to a better position for myself. It gives me confidence to jump out of the smoke and be less seen by the opponent because this gives me space. This smoke would be a great smoke for the defenders to some degree, right? And the same comes out of this smoke. If this smoke is put in an incorrect position, it will give an advantage to the players retaking the site because they can already cross this line and be here to spam the stairs, for example, with a gun with a suppressor, if they hear the footsteps. If the smoke is really put out, I can also use the smoke to peek out and not be exposed to stairs while seeing B main and switch, which also gives me an advantage when it comes to going out of this location. So it's very important for the attacker to understand to put the smoke straight up with the line over here to limit the amount of angles that the opponents can have, right? And expose them to the most maximum amount of angles that you as an attacker will be looking at or from, right? So this is very important to understand. That's one of the first things that you need to learn about attacking smokes. It's like the reversal role of the defender's smokes that we explained in the first episode. This is a concept that I think not many people understand, but it's incredibly important to get better at the game. So I'm gonna present you with a scenario that can happen a lot in your ranked games or in professional play. So the Jett is standing with an operator on stairs looking into B main. You don't have any flashes, any blinds. The only thing you have is just one smoke, and you want to attack the B side, right? With one smoke, you would probably just smoke market to make sure that you don't die when they have first contact, right? Because this is the first angle that your opponent will see from if you want to go towards B. So it's logical to smoke the market, right? With the one smoke. And then you have to take your odds if there's gonna be someone standing in CT when you're peeking out, so because you don't have the second smoke. Now, that's how most players would think. But the actual solution to this is something completely else. So instead of smoking market, you use a one smoke that will help you massively getting into sight, and at the same time, it will counter an operator. So when you have one smoke, you can use it to extend the choke point, right? So in most cases, you would just put it like this. So now imagine that you use your own smoke to counter your opponent's smoke. Your opponent's smoke doesn't want to cross this line over here, right? This is why the opponent's smoke is gonna be in B main like this. Now, if you have one smoke, you can counter the other smoke with a smoke of your own that extends this line and essentially cancels the opponent's smoke and makes you a very aggressive exit out of the choke point, because now you can go out of here, you can go out of here, you can go here, you can go here, you can go here. So every single angle is now open, and the defender is, well, in a pickle, because he has to choose where to hold this crosshair placement. Typically, an operator player will just hold this, and that's it. But when there's a smoke in front of him, he cannot do that, right? Because there's too many angles. He will have to take the risk of holding just one of those arrows and not the other ones. So it makes it very, very hard for him to have a proper position. Now, you can do the same on the other side, right? On the A side, the defenders are gonna put the smoke to not extend through this line, and then you can counter that with just one smoke by extending that line and giving yourself more options when coming out of the smoke. What is even more important is that you can literally on this side, on B side, you can make sure that the opponents from stairs, CT and market will not see you coming out of B main, when you can potentially just walk out from B main into lane like this, fully into the smoke, and they will never see you coming. And if there's no opponent smoke even, right? So when there's no smoke from the opponent, you can also do it by just moving the smoke like this. So you can smoke here, and then you can just walk out into lane. So you counter a potential operator, you counter a potential player from market or from CT just by putting one smoke. You don't need any flashes, you don't need anything to affect your opponent's positioning, but just the one smoke. This is why attacking with one smoke is so important to know, because it affects the way that you play the game. Now, one thing you have to remember though, you don't want to do smokes like this when your opponent are on a lower buy, because if they have shotguns or any close quarter combat weapons like Stinger, for example, or a Bucky, you know, that all of those weapons are actually benefiting from a smoke that is being put here or here. Or like for example here, because then the opponent can just stand in those positions here, here, here with a close quarter weapon and completely wreck you. But those smokes are so important to understand because they give you an advantage. Hope you guys enjoyed the guide. Remember that those episodes of Valorant for Beginners will come out weekly, so like and subscribe to the DRX channel, and we're gonna see each other next time.